Welcome back to the Steve Magnanti YouTube channel. This is the story of the little ones that helped sell the big ones. I'm talking about promotional models. In the mid-1950s, Detroit discovered the fact that a lot of folks who came into car dealerships to buy a new car brought Junior along. And in many cases, Junior helped mom and dad to decide to buy a car. So companies like AMT and Johan created promotional models. This is an Oldsmobile by Johan, another Olds by Johan, and the beauty of these things was that they were pretty realistic. Before these injection molded plastic models came along, toy models were generally made out of metal or in some cases even wood, and they were not very realistic. But these took advantage of modern engraving and high injection or injection molded plastic technology to give very realistic renderings, and also they would offer them in factory correct color combinations. So these things are pretty cool, little promotional models. And in some cases they had little electric, or not electric, but like a little friction motor with a flywheel inside. So they're kind of cool. And the grills were very realistic. Wheel covers were very, very accurate and correctly rendered. But you don't want to confuse these with actual model cars. Now this is a 57 Chevy promotional by SMP, which later became AMT, well known for making model car kits. And this is a more recent Revell 57 Chevy model. The big difference, of course, is the chassis on the promo is a metal stamping, whereas the model has an actual frame, a lot of detail. And of course, under the hood on the promo, what hood? It doesn't come off. Whereas on the more recent Revell Chevy 150, nice fuel-injected ramjet 283 under the hood right there, complete with the correct high-performance 290 horse unshielded air cleaner opening versus the oil bath stuff found on the lesser performance hydraulic cam fuelies of 1957. Full exhaust system detail, all that kind of stuff. But the beauty of the promotional models really is their rarity. This is pretty cool. It's a 1962 Pontiac Tempest convertible by AMT. And again, it has, an interesting little chassis. This is a little farther advanced than the metal chassis or the plain basic chassis seen on earlier ones. By the 60s, AMT and other companies were actually molding the chassis with realistic stuff. Plus, in some cases, information on warranty or galvanized exhaust or whatever it might be into the chassis to help sell the car while Dad was checking out Junior's toy. This one does have the friction motor up front, and it is true that quite often the model manufacturers would double dip. They'd actually use the tooling they made for the promo to also make the model car kit. But one thing that's kind of a bummer about promos is the fact that for the most part they were made of something called what was it? Some kind of a plastic that was not very good anyway. I forget the name of it. I'm having a blank right now. It doesn't matter. But they warped like mad. And so as a result, they would just not well survive. They would warp like this. And look at that. It's, not so good. Meanwhile, polystyrene, which arrived for the model car kits, was much better and wouldn't warp. Yeah, acetate plastic. That's what these things are. So anyway, that's the story of modeling with promos or kits. What would you choose?